Chrissy Carter, a successful yoga teacher, happy person, and a beautiful woman. Her true passion as a yoga teacher is to support and encourage others to accept themselves. She has 2 DVD with Gayam for yoga beginners. Chrissy has been sharing her love of yoga for over 10 years and continued to evolve her understanding of the practice both on and off the mat. Hello Chrissy, nice to see you today.
Hello.
We are a self-perfection group and Einstein Academy who take interviews from successful people who love what they do.
I found yoga my sweet spot. It was actually a very difficult period in my young life where I felt quite lost, actually. And I think so many of life's big transformations happen when you're feeling in a low place or when you're feeling like life has brought you to your knees or when you feel lost. I think that really committing and devoting yourself to what you love ultimately brings the clarity that allows you to teach and communicate that love with other people. It's so cool to be a facilitator of other people's process, like to be able to encourage others to find their own path, to encourage others to be at home with themselves. This, I think, is a huge privilege.
I know that you have one more passion. This is the French cuisine, and you were studying to be a chef. Can you tell more about it?
I love the process of making food, and I love the practice of sharing a good meal with the people that you love. Being a witness to that process, being committed to that process, being connected to that process, that for me is yoga. Perfection is always within us. It's not something that we have to achieve, but rather something that we reveal. The beauty of yoga asana is that it doesn't really matter the shape. But again, going back to this idea of the process, what matters is how connected are you to the process that brought you to that shape, because wherever you are in your yoga practice is exactly where you're supposed to be. And what happens is we start to see that inner truth that is often quieted by the incessant chatter of the mind. A lot of the things that I emphasize as a teacher are lessons that I'm myself working through in my own life. I think though it is valuable to have a teacher or a relationship with someone who has themselves explored yoga and practices yoga so that they can start to sort of steer you in the right direction. We can choose to see life itself as a teacher. So not just people, but circumstances. Circumstances that lift us up, circumstances that bring us to our knees. These are all teachers. But I would say one of the mottos, a few mottos that I like to stick with that help me is number 1, keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Number 2, done is better than perfect, because sometimes we can paralyze ourselves wanting everything to be perfect or just right, and then we often drag ourselves into that place of laziness that you were talking about because we become indecisive. So just getting it done, like facing problems head on, is something that I've really learned. And then the final one that I love is the way you do anything is the way you do everything.
My favorite.
I know, I really love that one because, you know, people can work on their spiritual practice and then they go out and they lose their cool in situations which are perhaps opportunities to put their practice into practice.